Hi guys, welcome back to Transits and Tactics. You know, every time I start this video, I always want to say, hold on to your hats. Because every time it feels like something is happening, and sometimes I'm in a good place and it's good things happening, and then Anita's like, ah, and sometimes it's the other way around. And right now, honestly, I do not know. And it's funny because we are now in the solar transit in the gate 43, which is the gate of insights. It's the gate of kind of like unexpected knowing. And the insights tend to come out also like as downloads and very much during the conversation. So I just said to Anita, let me just talk about it. I don't know I don't have much to say, but I kind of feel like it's going to come out anyway, because this is the energy of the transit. And not only we have gate 43, which is the gate of insights, as I mentioned, and it is the gate on our ajna, but we also have gate 23, which is the gate of assimilation, which means we don't have two separate gates somewhere in, different parts that are dealing with their own themes. We are now kind of leaping into the whole channel theme, and it's a channel of structuring. And it's a really, really interesting channel that I find, and it is about unexpected downloads, unexpected creative peaks, and innovative thinking. It's really interesting because it's all about how to do things effectively, how to use the energy effectively. And it's this kind of thing that you just know better than others sometimes. This is the kind of feeling you might get. So right now with this theme, watch yourself, because that kind of feeling can activate like this sudden feeling like, oh, I know this, what goes above everybody else's heads. I know the truth and I really want to share it, because it can be very impactful. This is a very impactful energy. It's potentially a life-changing energy for others, because you can definitely influence them with, the direction, the shifts and the ahas. But there's always a but, right? Human design always has this but, and it always says, wait. This is a scary word that nobody likes. I'm learning to really love it. It just says, wait. You cannot just jump in and share that knowledge without being invited. This is a projected channel. So it doesn't matter if you're a projector or not. This is the energy that needs to have the correct timing and the correct environment and the audience to be shared. Otherwise, whatever you say, you can just put people off, alienate yourself. So be careful. And it's specifically with interaction one-on-one or interaction with other people. It's not really applicable to the online visibility. So if you want to, record a video or whatever downloads will come to you, that's good. Share them. This is not where you need to hold back. But with people, with that sort of auric interaction that we have, it's really, really, really important. What can I add here? You might have an increased need to talk. So I would say to you, if you have any trusted supporters or people who you can use as sounding boards and you need to talk something at them so that you understand what you actually know, that feeling that it's somewhere there, but like, where is the clarity? Talk at people. So this is a great week, I think. And there's all these other energies that are influencing us, not just in the daily transits, but in and Anita is a big expert on the planetary influences and everything that's happening. So it can be a challenging period right now with the lack of clarity, and we have a pre-shadow of Mercury retrograde starting, and there's all the other things. So it could feel like you are kind of walking in the dark again. But I think that by talking, allow yourself to channel whatever is channeling. These are sudden insights. And I have to, what comes to my mind when I'm thinking about this channel of structuring is my late husband, Les, because he had that. And oh my God, he did put a lot of his people or people in our family off, because he'd always jump in with something that he'll say, this is shit. He'd say, this is better. This is bad. This is how it works. And some people would be like, oh my God, I feel always so stupid in front of you. Like, I don't want to hang out with you because you make me feel like I'm less than what I am. And this just really demonstrates to me how the timing and reading the room is so important. Hold back. And especially if you're a projector, actually, guys, because and it's not just projectors, there's a lot of like projected energy. But when you're a projector, you can be so impatient. You just, you see so deeply. You just want to express this, to help, to guide. Don't. Silence is golden. Let them invite you to guide them. But you can be visible. You can express your opinions without telling others what to do. That's the way to navigate this. Be available so that they're kind of aware that you hold some sort of information, some sort of knowledge, but wait until you're invited, or wait until the timing is right to speak for you. Silence is golden, and if you have an undefined throat, the same rule applies. Silence is actually more powerful for you than speaking too much. So that's my overview, and it really is like this is what we're kind of dealing with. The whole channel, really exciting. We're a couple of days now into this. I can see already how it starts, playing out in my personal life. Anita, how are you experiencing this transit?
This is great. I grew up in this energy, and you're right. It's really what I love about human design is that it gives us strategies as to how we are designed to manage our thoughts, how we think, how we're designed to manage those thoughts, what thoughts tell us that we're off balance. With this one in particular, you can be a real know-it-all. Like there's a potential here to have brilliant ideas and think they're good for everybody, as Juliette said. So you tell everyone your great idea, and they kind of, it's driven by a need to be acknowledged and a need to be for your brilliance. However, the timing is critical. So my partner has this, so, and I have the 23. So it's really important this week. It's going to be super amplified because the full moon is activating the 23 also. And it's in Taurus. So how I make my contribution being received? And how do I really evaluate? This is more of the energies in this week. How do I evaluate my thought process? What to say, when to say it? When people say timing, it really means saying something in the right moment. And you only know when you connect to your decision strategy whether you're doing this or not. But here's the beauty of it. My partner used to find he'd go into a meeting and he'd have a one single-minded way of approaching a problem. And he literally found that he would get people's back up. They would like kind of go, oh, he'd get a lot of resistance. So when he knows this, he's able to say now, ooh, I'm feeling this energy of pushback. I need to back off and open up to ask them what's their opinion in relation to this. I may still have the best idea in the room, but it's how I deliver it that depends on how it's going to be received. Because what happens is with this energy as well is that people can really worry. They can, there's a lot of internal noise about what I'm going to say, when I'm going to say it. And the worry pushes you into jumping in and saying it.
Mhm.
Then the best thing is to step back, right? So with us, what I find with this energy, you're going to find a lot of people are still critical potentially this week, and they are espousing a lot of their insights that may be perfect for them. So, and I have a strategy for this because otherwise, I don't get heard. When someone has this energy, you can feel like you're not being heard. And what I do is acknowledge their idea. I say, that's an amazing idea for you. For me, however, this is my part of it. And while I love your idea, it's just not my cup of tea. So thank you very much. So now you don't trigger a resistance with their brilliant idea and trying to talk over you. You actually engage both ideas and see, is there a middle ground?
It's really interesting because this week we all want to share our brilliant ideas. We
Yeah.
all want to impose our vision and these out of the blue downloads. So what do we do then?
Exactly. When you do, though, realize, stay connected with with your decision strategy. And what I find myself saying is the timing right to express this? And I get an inner yes, and then I say, you know what? And as a projector, saying things straight out can be, you can feel totally unheard. You can be there, oh my God, I've just said, you can be in a meeting and express an idea, and no one hears you. 5 minutes later, someone says the same thing and you're there. I just said that. I just said that. What the hell? Am I invisible?
This is
So
all about being invited to speak. This is the scary when project, especially as projectors actually, or any projected channels. When you're trying to kind of say, I know, I'm the best person, I have the best idea, you are literally don't exist for the world. It's the weirdest thing. And yet, if you position yourself that they know that you know something cool, they will ask you. So silence again is golden.
exactly. And if you're really desperate to express it, which sometimes, we are, oh my God, I've got such a
So
brilliant.
impatient.
So just very subtle like a brick. Just say, just say something like, I've a decent, would you be open to suggestion about this? And so they will or they won't. And if they say yes, go ahead. But if they say no, honestly, zip it, because your energy is going to say, I know the answer. I know the answer. So it's much stronger. They'll kind of eventually get it and turn around and say, hey, Anita, what's your idea here? It's intriguing energy. But I did grow up with it. It can be, and with the current transits, we're really being invited to explore how we think and how important our inner wisdom is for us first, and then potentially share it. A lot of people here with this energy might be very busy trying to avoid listening to that inner voice. And often this energy, which is great this week, so make sure you switch off your phone, your TV and stuff like that. It's a great place to come up with intuitive new solutions to wherever you might feel stuck. We still have Pluto in that gate 60, which is saying this difficulty beginning, guys. It's difficulty beginning. You might have found you've done a lot of false starts over the last couple of years. It has been in gate 60 activated gate 60 since 2022. So there literally could be a couple of years where you felt you were really stuck and didn't know a way out. And instead of going in, you went out. You did another course. You did another
Mm.
one, looking for more ideas, looking for more opinions, which I don't know about you, but I found this more confusing.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's the need to feel you feel like this lull, like limbo. And it's very familiar to everyone. And we all resist. We hate the limbo. Oh my God, I'm so confused. I don't know. And we start doing more instead of slowing down. But it's
Mhm.
in slowing down and asking, what is the simplest, smoothest, easiest energetically way out of this? And
That's
the answer comes.
Yeah, that is absolutely perfect because I have the gate 23 and I found all this all this information that's coming in, that 23, which the moon will be in this week. It literally probes the information and it says, right, which will bring me the simplest solution, the less drama, the most effective. And it brings it in, you bring it into your body and with your decision strategy, of course. But when I sit down, I love this energy, actually. I love it and hate it at the same time. This is the energy where you'll have all the ideas, you'll have a brilliant idea, and with a defined head and ajna, there'll be 100 ideas. By the time I have written my idea down, it's changed already, right? It's changed already. So I ask my gate 23 to just, simplify this information. Show me the information that's most efficient for me. Show me how, and peel away the inessential details and just let the most important insight drop in. And that's very personal for me because, as I said, busy mind. But with this energy, people are inclined to worry and they think that worry is helping instead of realizing, no, worry means I'm creating so much noise, I can't hear the solution, right? And it's it's brilliant when you know how to work this. It's brilliant. But we've
It's
given
true, and
some.
it's an instant release. I actually had a simple example because we're facing moving the apartments, and we just bought a new couch in this old apartment. So I promised the landlord when I'm moving, I didn't know I'm going to move then so fast. So I said, when I'm moving, I'm gonna buy a new couch here. But the one that I threw away was kind of originally very expensive and a good one, and I can't find anything that looks like that that would be like within what I would prepare to, invest while I'm leaving. And I was so freaked out. The last few days, guys, it's just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. All furniture stores, all online is just sofas, sofas, sofas. I just got so overwhelmed. And one quick insight, how can I make it simpler for myself? Just sat down, wrote it down, write it down when it's too much in your head. Busy head tips, right, for you guys. Write everything down. I have a notebook for my business confusion. I have a notebook for my personal life confusion. Write it down. And I wrote down what is the simplest solution here, the one that feels good. And I just thought, heck it, I'll just leave that couch here. And then I don't need to get a moving company because this is the biggest item. Then I don't need to do this. Then I don't need to do this. And it feels good. And I would have probably spent the same amount of money anyway on all these changes. And I thought, wow, and then everything started moving. Everything that confusion stalls us. Confusion stalls the energy of resolution to come in. So when we resist the confusion and we're starting to do more, like me with this like scrolling, yesterday was watching some sort of movies on Netflix. I didn't watch anything. I was just scrolling on my phone and I hated myself for it, to be honest with you, because it was just such an overwhelming activity. And yet, the moment you stop doing too much, you allow this, energy to just dissipate, just kind of dissolve. Ask yourself make that decision. What's the simplest way? Make that decision. Stop overthinking. Let it go. The next moment, now resolutions of this whole situation on a bigger level comes into your life, whatever was stalling. I just really think that this is a process to recognize and watch and catch yourself while you're caught up in it.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with it. It's part of the discernment process. And this is very important this week for work as well. If you, like me, are an energy practitioner and you've done many different modalities and you're wondering what's the best approach modules to bring through this week, to bring through into the next step of your business, this is a great time to sit down and journal, as Juliette says, and just go through the ones that bring you most aliveness moving forward. Because, it's when we can borrow this energy, it doesn't have an agenda when the planets are activating this, right? There's no agenda here except that it's offering us energy that we can borrow to kind of go, okay, I'm confused about what to do next with my work. And just go through things that have worked before and write them out and kind of inner brainstorm almost is a good way to
Yes.
describe it, right? The same with the marketing. I find a lot of people are pissed off that their marketing isn't being heard, isn't being acknowledged. It's time to just step back from that and clear the energy around that, because when you just allow it to come in the moment, it's a much different message. And often it might be that you have a brilliant idea, you are brilliant at what you do, but it's just not what people need to hear right now. Or when you clear this energy, people can see you.
Actually, I have a little bit to add to this because you're absolutely right. There's two things that wrong with that kind of state of mind. One is expectations. Your focus is on them and what they do or don't do in this case, and then you get all like, "Oh my God, why would I even bother if they don't?" Forget that word "they." Forget it. It's not about them. Your business, your marketing is about you. You're expressing yourself. You're telling whoever the right person out there who is perfect for you and your work, right? They will listen, they will hear, but it's up to you to have something to say to them. It's not about what they need even or expect, or this is where we get caught up, and that's where the insecurities start, and that's where the imposter syndrome starts, because we're overthinking what do they need to hear for that magic to happen. But that's a very, very simple thing: speak with passion, speak about what you're into, and that means focus is on you. Forget that word they in your marketing. It's about you, what you have to say. And then of course you need to know who you're talking to, in terms of, like, if I'm talking to someone who gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning to commute for 3 hours to an office and then spends the day in the office, dealing with all these people there that they hate, and then they come back, the lifestyle of that. And I'm trying to target them, and I'm talking about a lifestyle of me who works from home, who gets up at whatever time I want, and can be super flexible. This is two different dimensions. It's not even different planets. This is completely different life. So I need to know who I'm talking to in that respect. But it's still not about what they need to hear. It's about what I have to say about what I see and what I, experience as an expert, as a person. And that is where magnetic power starts, right? And we overthink that. And so and then, we're all confused and overthinking. So yes, journaling. Oh my God. Have a board meeting with with yourself, with your heart, and write things down. Every month I have a one specific day, no clients, booked off, every day I take my notebook, I go to a coffee shop and I sit down and I write. And there were days when I would come in there and I don't know, I'm not clear, I'm very confused. I'm in the moment a person anyway. I'm very good at strategizing and planning in general, but not planning for my life because I never follow the plans. But when I sit down and write, that confusion as you write becomes clear. It's such a great exercise for clarity. And even just all you need is the next step. You don't need, people look for this clarity they want to know, how is it going to happen that I become super successful? Well, nobody knows, and you don't know, and nobody will ever know. The next step is the only step that you can define and be clear about. And then you take that step, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next. And that's how
That,
things happen.
that's so true because that's how this energy works. It's when I take the steps, I look back and go, oh my gosh, look how much I've achieved. If
That's
someone
right.
had asked me on day one to present this material, I'd have said, no way, I'm not able, I'm not capable, or I wouldn't even think of it. Whereas as I take the steps, it becomes more and more tangible and realistic to me to be able to achieve. And so if we knew the end line, if we knew the end line, we probably, it changes the game. It's all about the experience anyway, isn't it?
Well, it is, and it's everything evolves, you see. So,
Mm.
if somebody said to me, okay, Juliette, so you're going to be super successful by 2027, for example, this and this and this and this will happen. And you know what's happening to me then? I am growing, and in this 3 years or whatever, 2 years left, right? I can completely grow out of who I am right now. And all that could be true to who I am right now, but the next year I'll be a new evolved person with new evolved goals, with new evolved dreams. So it's not going to fit. We are constantly evolving, and we have to honor that. We have to go with the flow in that respect. I think maybe as a splenic person who is in the now, okay, this is my message to you, right? What you are now. And that's why the next step is the only logical step. But then again, in terms of motivations, yes, of course, we do all these boring, tedious, sometimes, not very exciting steps that we have to do. There's some neutral activities we have to do. You can't expect that you're going to be ecstatic from everything you have to do in your business. That's just not realistic. Or, we're adults here. So let's talk about real life. But you can have the kind of bigger vision. I am doing this so that I'm financially secure, for example. I am doing this so that there's serious reasons. But then every step that you're taking, that's going to take you further, faster, because we underestimate how much we go in a long term. So if you do like something small, if you just decide this month I'm going to focus on this month I'm just going to focus on this, and if you didn't, I can guarantee you're going to focus on something else. Because sometimes setting yourself these kind of plans, right? I remember I wrote down, I'm going to sit down and focus on my book. And in that day, in that month, I didn't focus on my book. Some other idea came and I focused entirely on it. And it was really, really good that I did, right? And then the book came back. So you have this sense of achievement. That's what I'm trying to kind of bring all this to boil it down to. you actually will have a sense of achievement. Write down things that you've achieved. Have that kind of copybook that, or some sort of like a diary, which is your meetings with yourself every 2 weeks, every month. Don't need to do it every week. It's too often. But you have this so you can read back. You can see, oh yeah, I did this, and scratch them, do something that you show yourself that you've achieved, all your to-do lists, scratch. Yes, that has been done. There's a big like green tick over it. This has been done. You will feel better. Then that means that you're not going to say, oh, nothing is working. I'm not doing anything. I'm always stuck. But you're not stuck. You have done all these things. The stuck is what your mind thinks that you are. You're not stuck. You have been working. So the timing is really important. You have to wait a little bit until all these things come into place and click, and a little breakthrough will happen, then another one, then another one. But we're all sitting here waiting for a lightning bolt, right?
Yeah, yeah. Can I just add one thing to that,
Of
and then I'll
course.
finish up? But there's a difference between the achievement that comes from this genius energy, the manifesting what you want from this genius energy, and just achieving for the sake of achieving because you're worried that if you're not achieving,
That's
you know.
right.
So kind of always striving, never arriving. This is one of the gates that contribute to that, one of the channels where I'm taking action because I'm afraid not to. I'm worried, whereas the taking action from this genius space is one small step can be your next biggest step. You don't know it
Mm.
until you look back. So
True.
yeah, so it's just that it's like it's every achievement doesn't feel the same. You might achieve what you think you wanted to achieve, and you just feel empty when you do. You
Yeah,
know, Part of this emptiness is, oh, maybe it wasn't the thing for me to do. The other part of the emptiness is, if you stop judging it, it's me saying, ooh, I have capacity to start something new now.
that's right. That's right too. That's a great angle. That's a great angle. We're too caught up in sort of the end, but the fact that
Yes.
every ending is the beginning of something, or creating space for something to begin, is beautiful. That's such a great observation, Anita. Really, really cool. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that these contemplations and our reflections on the energy help you to navigate what the heck is going on every time. And that's what it is, and I think it's wonderful. And some people say, oh, I don't want to give my responsibility to some planetary, changes. But sure, if you don't, then everything is on you, and that's very heavy, right? So I prefer watching what is affecting me, what is going on. The full moon is coming this week as well. If you're reacting to full moons, I know I am, even on a physical level, migraines and things like that. You can be prepared. You can take it with, a little bit more acceptance and say, okay, tomorrow is another day, and just navigate it like this. So, anyway, guys, we will see you in the next episode of Transit and Tactics. Take care and bye bye.